All right, everybody, and welcome to Buzz Live. There we go. Thank you so much for being here tonight at The Spot on Kirk. My name is Michael Hemphill. I'm the creator and host of the TV show Buzz that airs Wednesday nights on Blue Ridge PBS, where we feature the great work that nonprofit organizations do and the marketing professionals affiliated with the American Advertising Federation of Roanoke who donate their time and talent helping nonprofits achieve more buzz. There we go. Thank you.
And I'm Kiana Price Marshall. I don't have nearly as long as a title, but excited to be back here as co-host Buzz Live. And when I'm not buzzing, I'm excited and proud to be the Vice President of Advancement at United Way of Virginia's Blue Ridge.
Love it. All right, so thank you so much for being here. Thanks to The Spot on Kirk for hosting us tonight. If you're tuning in to our live stream on Facebook or YouTube, you have my man Rob Orthwine to thank. So everyone give it up for Rob. Now, April is Autism Awareness Month, and tonight we are buzzing about the VIA Centers for Neurodevelopment. Founded nearly 30 years ago, VIA used to be called the Virginia Institute of Autism, hence VIA, and here in the Roanoke Valley, it was the Blue Ridge Autism and Achievement Center until it merged with VIA in 2023. Now, no one can tell its real history and significance to our region better than its co-founder, David Gordon. And so we got a little video here that he created. Take a look.
Given his size, I get so worried about how he will be in the world without family. If he were in a hospital or, for gosh sakes, people would overreact, they would over-medicate, they would restrain him. We're able to contain those things. And you know what? He's been able to be at VIA now since he was 4 years old. And he doesn't have to be restrained. He still expresses those frustrations, but he's safe there. People understand his behavior. They set clear schedules and expectations for him. And so every day we have good days. We have bad moments and good days. And that's why I try to understand ABA as a science that is also exactly the way love works. It has made this community a better community. People can learn, they can come, they can hope, students can get trained, researchers can research. It is this vital thing that teaches us what it means to be human. And supporting VIA, helping it achieve what it needs to support families, provide hope, and make the world a better place in a very difficult time. That's what we're about. VIA normalizes things, and I think difference scares some people, but the way VIA has been structured, it pulls people in to say, engage difference, risk the relationship, and you'll be richer because of it. This is where, we are a social movement. I really always take pride that the word overcoming has been in our mission statement, that we're about overcoming the challenges of neurodevelopmental difficulties, is that sense of enabling people to have equal access to the world, to feel included in the world, to be proud of who you are. It's an amazing thing that I can dream that Daniel has moments that he can be proud of who he is. Now, I suddenly woke up and at 70 years old, where did all that time go? How do I understand what he will have by way of a home? I say to him routinely when he's having Daniel's spa time, Daniel, you've changed the world. You don't even know how many lives you've touched now. you've changed the world. It's a wonderful thing to feel.
Well, please join me in welcoming to the Buzz Live Leslie Painter, the director of the Roanoke Valley Day School. Let's get situated there.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you.
So, Leslie, thank you so much for being here tonight.
Absolutely.
You know, and when I know VIA serves folks who are considered profoundly autistic.
Correct.
And you know, there's this autism spectrum that we talk about, which you know includes a wide range of issues. And when you say profound autism, what does that mean?
So profound autism, I always tell people in layman's terms, means that an individual is really impacted by their disability. Someone with profound autism is probably has a lot of trouble communicating, probably mostly nonverbal. So they are using a communication device or sign language. They probably have some challenging behaviors that we at VIA work on. And they probably have some other, besides autism, some other disabilities that impact them also.
Are they typically able to live independently?
No, someone with profound autism would need 24/7 care.
Okay. And so where does the Roanoke Valley Day School come in?
So we are for students that are ages 2 to 22. And you know, we are a school. We do work on academics, right? But we are very focused on those daily living skills, right? Those things that we maybe take for granted. You know, brushing our teeth, brushing our hair. Maybe your children are brushing their teeth, brushing their hair, but we do take that for granted because it's easy for us, right? So we work on academics, but we're also working on those things outside of the four walls of our school to make a family's life easier. We want them to be able to go out to dinner and to sit and be able to enjoy a family dinner out in the community or go to the movies or go to the grocery store because you need milk and you might be the only caregiver there and you really need something. That's a big task for someone that has profound autism. So we are here to help make families' lives enriched and easier.
And just to help us better envision this, why is that such a challenge for a family who has someone who has profound autism?
So someone that has profound autism, or typically anyone that has autism, has a very hard time with change. They have a very hard time with going into somewhere that has a lot of lights, has loud sounds. There might be something that they can't anticipate. So, you know, maybe somebody drops something on the floor in Food Line or something, you know, and that could be a loud sound that could really send them into sensory overload and be very hard and send them into some maybe challenging behavior that we as a community maybe not know and understand.
When does a family decide it's time for us to seek your services? Or is it recommended from physicians or educators?
Typically, it's recommended by educators, by the school divisions. We partner very well and very closely with surrounding school divisions. And then those school divisions say, you know, we feel like we're not the best placement for your child. They need that more intensive structure that somewhere like VIA can give. And so that is when they come to us.
Okay, so you were there for someone through the age of 22.
Yes.
In Daniel's case, what we just saw, he looked older.
He is. He
Okay,
is.
so what services are in place by VIA?
So he is in our adult services. So he is what we call, and I think we'll talk about later, is that autism cliff. He is over the age of 22. I feel like Virginia is coming into the forefront a little bit better than some other states of we're really at 2 to 22 pushing for services, but then at 22, the state kind of says, we've done, you know, good luck. And so VIA offers what we call the Club and Hub, and it is places and like basically they can go and there's a place that they can go and belong and go out into the community daily and work on those daily living skills and just being in the community and having acceptance in the community. And we also offer job coaching services in our adult services also.
I'm going to shift gears a little bit and shed the light away from the VIA Center, if that's okay, and a little bit on you personally. But I understand you earned degrees in communications and as well as special education from Radford.
Yes.
What inspired you to enter into this challenging line of work?
So when I was younger growing up, my babysitter kept children with special needs. And so it was always a passion. And my grandmother, who is now 93, was a teacher. And so it was always instilled in me, like, this is something that is a calling for you, Leslie. And so then when I became a special ed teacher, I really was drawn to those kids that needed that extra help and those extra supports, and it ended up being those kids with profound autism. And so I then just kind of honed in my skills on that, and I'm here today.
So it wasn't for the corner office and the cushy salary.
Nonprofit world.
Absolutely.
Just wanted to confirm that. Okay. Well, VIA has been around, I believe, since 1996. Now, here in the Roanoke Valley, it was originally referred to as the Blue Ridge Autism and Achievement Center. Buzz actually had the opportunity to visit BRAC back before the merger when we were doing an episode on St. Francis service dogs. So at that time, St. Francis service dogs would provide a dog, or actually had a dog at BRAC every day to interact with the students who were there on the autism spectrum. And it was a really beautiful experience seeing them interact. And we actually have a little video from that episode that I'd like to share with you.
And then there's the work that April does every day at Blue Ridge Autism and Achievement Center.
So the Blue Ridge Autism and Achievement Center serves students 2 through 22. We have 3 locations, Roanoke, Lynchburg, and Lexington, and across those sites we have about 100 students. And then we do other services within our community. The partnership with St. Francis started about 10 years ago. Our CEO had a relationship with St. Francis with her son Joshua, and we started working with them, and we got our first facility dog, Deuce. And since then, we now have our second facility dog, April, and we actually have a facility dog, Ginger, up in Lynchburg. So we have students with a variety of needs. So we have students who are very significantly impacted by their disabilities, and they work with the dogs to learn how to care for their own pets. So they learn how to walk April. They learn how to safely interact with animals and not be afraid of animals. So she's very patient and calm and kind to allow them to safely interact with her. We have students who are very high functioning, who utilize April to calm when they're starting to get frustrated. She'll go in the classroom and sit beside them to help ease them. And they also utilize her to run into school on time because they have time to see April. So they actually arrive to school early so they can come and lay on the floor with April before they go to class. And they sometimes earn time with April to play games or do things contingent on their behavior at school. So she serves sometimes as a reinforcer because she's such a powerful motivator for our students to do their best work and to interact with people in a polite and respectful way. She just really is such a positive force for our staff and for our students here at BRAC.
And sadly, I understand that April's no longer with us. She's crossed the rainbow bridge.
Yes, she did.
But that sweet, beautiful face, I can already tell, impacted and changed so many lives.
She did, and when we had to tell our students, it was a very sad day, sad
I
day.
can't even imagine how that, probably several sad days.
Seeing her up there, oh.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to play that little clip just because I think it gives people who haven't been inside BRAC the opportunity to see what a caring, loving place it is, and also the kinds of people that you are serving there.
Right.
So it's a special place, but it takes a special heart to do all that.
It's a special place. It does take a special heart, and I have to say, everyone that works at VIA are all just, like we've said, we're a family. And we are all just, we're here for the mission. And I always say, too, every time I talk to someone, everyone that works with someone with autism, we're the lucky ones because we're the ones, they let us in their world, you know? And so that, to me, and right there is just luck and a blessing.
What inspired the merger with VIA here in the Roanoke Valley, the Blue Ridge
Right.
Autism and Achievement Center?
So, you know, BRAC was well known in the Roanoke Valley, VIA well known in the Charlottesville area. And they came together and we merged together so that we could have a bigger footprint in the state of Virginia and be able to raise more awareness for profound autism and also create a bigger footprint just maybe all over the state and not just in the New River Valley and Charlottesville.
Beyond the exposure and expanding your footprint, what has the merger allowed VIA to do within the Roanoke Valley?
Well, I think it's made us larger, right, and more resources. So instead of just where we felt like we were just kind of in the Roanoke Valley, we now can reach out to more people and more resources, more ways to do research and things that are coming abroad and coming about in the ever fast pace of education. And we are able to touch base on those and get those a little bit easier because we are larger.
How many people do you serve?
So the school in Roanoke serves 71 children at this time.
Okay, all right. And VIA-wide, do you know?
VIA-wide, I think close to 200 students.
200 students, okay. Well, part of why we're here tonight and also why you're having an event here next week, next Wednesday at Mill Mountain Theater, is to try to raise more awareness about VIA's work here in the Roanoke Valley and hopefully to maybe clear up some confusion for those who maybe still are referring to it as BRAC or Blue Ridge Autism Achievement Center.
Or VIA.
Or VIA. Or VIA. Right. It is VIA. 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 Everybody say it with me. VIA. Okay, great. All right, so you're having an event. We're going to talk about that later on.
Yep.
But thank you so much for being here
Thank
tonight.
you.
And
Thank
sharing
you for
with
having us. This is
Absolutely.
great.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, please, Leslie Painter. All right, go for it. Yeah.
Well, our thanks to Leslie and thanks to the VIA Center. And here on Buzz Live, I think what's so wonderful, we don't only have the opportunity to be inspired and educated, but we also get to enjoy some incredible talent. So it is my distinct pleasure to bring to the stage our live musical guests for this show. Please help me welcome Dylan Dent.
All right.
Hey, I'm gonna sing a song I wrote for my mom. I don't know how to say the words I love you. I don't know what to do. I know I need to, even when clouds are gray and storms above you, the words did not escape. But you should know that I'll keep you inside of my heart. I'll keep you inside of my heart till I die. I don't know how to say the words I'm sorry. I know I've done you wrong somewhere along the line, and I don't condone all of my actions. I hope this song can bring some satisfaction. I'll keep you inside of my heart. I'll keep you inside of my heart till already know that nothing lasts forever. All of the words you spoke will keep you near now. You're more than miles away, but still you're here, 'cause I'll keep you inside of my heart. I'll keep you inside of my heart. Oh, I'll keep you inside of my heart. I'll keep you inside of my heart till I die. I won't cry, 'cause I'll keep you inside of my heart.
Wow.
I would like to clarify, my mom's alive. That last verse was for my grandma.
I'm over here thinking like, oh my gosh, if my sons ever wrote me this song, like they'd be at the top of Cash App list all the time. What a beautiful gesture.
Dylan,
Beautiful
thank you
song.
so much. Thank you for being here tonight. And it's my understanding that maybe part of what inspired you to want to come here is that you're no stranger to autism and maybe some mental health challenges, and I'm wondering what you'd feel comfortable sharing with people here about those.
So first, my cousin has autism and what you would describe as profound autism. He's nonverbal even to this day, and he's past the 22-year-old mark. And so my whole family has kind of had big hearts and is very sensitive to any neurodivergent anybody. I myself have ADHD. We're very comfortable talking about it, so like pretty much everybody in my family has ADHD. So things like VIA are very important, and it's helpful to, one, know that you have it and develop skills to deal with it. My phone went off in my pocket while I was singing the song. It was distracting.
I think that'd be distracting for most anyone, for sure. What inspired you to give your time and talent here tonight, and other than making us other moms feel really bad, because my kid doesn't even write a note for me, no less, a song. So, any other inspiration?
I just like people that help people, and I like to help those people. And so that's kind of it.
I love that.
Yeah. Talk about a buzz for good.
Yeah.
Love it.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we're going to, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, well, thankfully, Dylan has been kind enough to stick around and give us another musical selection later on in the show. So give it up one more time for Dylan Dent, please.
All right.
Now, our next guest is a family member of someone with autism. Mike Garrison is a VIA parent and does a heartfelt introduction of his story. Let's take a look.
We are a year out from one of the most terrifying things as parents of a child with profound autism, which is the complete ending of care, right? We lose all of it. I was telling Ethan that we were in a position financially to be able to pay for the private placement of our son, and yet trying to find a spot to put your completely vulnerable, dependent child in was terrible. I don't cry very much, especially not for me, but we visited some of the places other than VIA in the Valley, and I wept. I wept after every visit because there's just such a big difference, and my son is so profoundly autistic that he probably would have liked it. And yet, he would have missed out on so much more. So all I'm saying is these people at VIA, don't put them in a box. Don't think that it's just school. It's everything. It's from cradle to the end, providing dignity and opportunity. And I just want you to remember, there's an old story whatever you do for the least of these, this is God's word.
Please help me welcome to the show VIA parent Mike Garrison.
All right.
I'm already torn up.
Don't do it, Mike. Don't do it. We don't have tissues up here.
All right, so, Mike, we kind of talked about it earlier with Leslie, but from a parent's perspective, you mentioned this cliff, and you kind of hinted at it a little bit in the video, but talk about the emotions that you're feeling knowing that this support system that you've been able to appreciate for nearly 22 years is coming to an end.
Yeah, it's, by the way, we have a service dog, and my son visited with April as a potential match, and our service dog Ben's retiring this year. So St. Francis is amazing. Yeah. So when you look at the cliff, it's hard to describe for somebody who isn't in the family what we really mean. And so if you can just imagine having access to incredible professionals coming into your home at these amazing places and doing all these things. We went from being afraid we're going to have to institutionalize my son at 8 or 9 years old because he's so violent to where we are today. And we lost millions of dollars, lost businesses, lost everything. And VIA is why we're back doing so many things and benefiting people all over the country. It wouldn't happen. So this cliff happens at 22. And I was staring it down when I was doing that presentation. And I knew where we wanted our son to go, which was VIA. But I also knew that there's only so many people. There's just not enough people to help my son and other kids like that. And I just want to stress, we are so fortunate. It was not financial. Autism doesn't care how much money you have. Just getting access to the people at VIA, and we had great experiences in Roanoke County Public Schools, some good friends, but it's a miracle that I'm even here tonight.
That says a lot. You mentioned in the video that you found yourself weeping after you visited other facilities. Now, we certainly don't want you to call out any of them, not to name drop any other place.
Nope.
But what did those centers or facilities lack that you found at VIA?
See if I can manage this. They were a place that would keep my son safe. But it wouldn't allow him to express his unique humanity. And that was the worst part, is that he is so profoundly autistic that he would have, because of everything at VIA, he would have accommodated and done it, and he wouldn't have been, he didn't go out, he wouldn't have best friends. So, I just, the joy, I wish you could see how happy he is to go to VIA. He's been there since he's 14, 8 years, and we were on a wait list for 5. And then we were so fortunate and thankful. I don't know what happened, but we got a slot at the day program. And the day program, he doesn't age out. And so that's what every autism parent faces. We know at 22 that everything stops and there's no guarantees, and the world does not care, but they do.
They are heroes.
They are the heroes. They are the heroes. They are my heroes.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
I am not an unbiased guest.
That's fine. That's fine.
Hearing you talk about anyone who's a parent just wants what's best for his or her child. And I think the saying goes that we as parents are only as good as our child who is suffering the most. So I hear what you're saying about what all VIA does for your son, what does it do for you and your wife?
So we went from, when we were in Richmond, looking up institutions to put our son in, where there's at least a 50% chance he'd be violently raped. Welcome to profound autism. My son is incapable of defending himself. I'm a veteran, and I was looking at options that were unacceptable, but I couldn't do anything. And we were in Richmond, and we got the call from, I forget who it was, I can't remember. Somebody from VIA was like, do you want to stay on a list? And my wife's like, do we want to stay on a list? And I'm like, yes, expletive, yes. And yeah.
We had to talk him down from some of the language he wanted to use earlier pre-show. All right, so we've had conversations. All right,
I'm an Irish veteran of a profoundly special needs child.
We're a PG show.
That's right. Yeah, but here's what's happened. Is like when my son was born, I just published a bestseller. I was franchising an international company about how to predict referrals, marketing. So I love what you guys do. And was on top of the world, and then all of a sudden my son went in the hospital, 1 pound, 7 ounces, 24 weeks, grade 4 brain bleed. They said he was gonna die. I had PTSD and didn't know it. Because I was all alone, they whisked my wife up to recovery, and I'm just out in a hallway going, what just happened? We were going to church, and now this happened. And all of a sudden, all your dreams are gone. Everything's gone. And I will tell you that for the longest time, I just faked it till I could make it. And I'd tell people everything's okay, but inside I was just cold and empty. And when we moved back to Roanoke, ironically, from Richmond to Roanoke, things got better. Angie Leonard.
not ironically. I
Not
would like to say.
That's right. Yeah. I can't say I'm from here because I wasn't born here. I was informed. My son is from Roanoke. But like, I will say, like, the biggest difference is at VIA, you get confidence as a parent that you can actually dream again. And I don't know how to put that in words for you about what that means. I just wrote another book. I've got a consulting business that's blowing up around the world, and none of it, and some of them are right here, Lauren, who told me that we would be able, like, we didn't know if he would qualify to even be in the day program when we started. We didn't know, Lauren. Like, you said it would work. I was like, okay, because I didn't believe it. But I trusted her, and, you know, here we are, right? So, love you, love your family.
Well, you talk about how you were cold for a long time. I don't sense much coldness out of you now. So I would say that's something that VIA gave you.
Yeah, I was empty. I prayed for 10 years to be able to feel again.
Check.
What would you say to a family that doesn't have VIA, that is dealing with a child with autism? Maybe they feel empty, maybe they feel lost, maybe they're on the waiting list. What encouragement would you give them?
I would say, this is for the family members, the parents, is that no matter how much it hurts, no matter how much this world doesn't give a rip about you, no matter how awkward and awful it is sometimes in public, don't give up, right? And I will say this, and it's because your kids, like, the divorce rate is awful. I'm not sure what it is anymore, but it's awful for parents with special needs. Just don't give up. I'll tell you a quick story. When it was really bad, the worst ever, my dad, he's passed, who always struggled to interact with my son. He's an old Marine guy. He just never could connect, and it was a horrible thing. I remember sitting out, and I will edit for content. I remember sitting out on a porch after having to restrain my son for 5 hours to keep him from attacking my wife. And I was talking to my dad, and I was crying, and he never heard me cry in a long time. And I said, I don't know if I can do it, Dad. And there was silence. He goes, are you going to quit? And then I said something to him, wasn't very nice. And then that was the change. That was the change. Right after that, we got some in-home services and things started changing. So I would say to those people, first of all, I am so sorry. Like, one of the worst feelings in the world for me is how much we have. And I served on the Special Education Advisory Committee. I know that there are people in this city that are stuck in an apartment in a terrible section of town, and that adult child never gets to go out, and they don't know what to do. And I would just say, don't give up, and I would instead talk to everyone else. Like, freaking get out there and meet these people and bring these human beings back into the world. Because I will tell you this, you do not know what joy is until you have been around someone with profound autism. Good days, bad moments. I love that, by the way. Not bad days, bad moments. That is the thing. My son taught me what joy is, and that's how I broke through. I prayed James 1, count it but pure joy. I'm like, this is not fun. And then I realized I have to choose joy.
One last question, and I'm going to kind of go in a little different direction here.
Okay.
But you're talking about the world doesn't care. From some perspectives, what's happening right now on a federal funding level, I know it's having an impact on places like VIA. If you could have an audience with the powers that be who are talking about shutting off funding for service agencies like VIA, what would you say?
I have this conversation more than you realize. I have, on purpose, friends from every political stripe, at least the ones you can talk to. I'm not interested in the other ones. And it's really interesting how sometimes people will assume, because I'm a business owner and I'm a Christian, that I'm against government stuff. And I'm like, well, you know, my son's been on Medicaid since he was born. I would say this, are we going to throw away people or not? I wouldn't give them any wiggle room at all. I wouldn't say bad things. I would just say, are we going to throw away people or not? If we're not going to throw away people, now we can start solving this. And I will, these kids, these adults, they bring something to this community that no one else can. The fact that they are willing, in spite of everything they go through, to come out in public and to do these things, the courage that they show going to Kroger, the courage to go to Kroger. Unbelievable. That's what we need. That's what we need. And we used to shut them away when I was a kid.
Yeah. Well, and not only that, but I just want to note that if there wasn't a place like VIA for your child would probably be at home, which might impact.
There'd be no business for me.
No business for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No business, no books, gone. And that's what it was like for 10 years.
All right.
Thank you, not for just being here, for sharing, and truly, you're an incredible father and truly inspiring. And so thank you for sharing with us today. And what's the name of the book?
It's called Can I Borrow Your Car?
Can I borrow your car? Can I borrow your car?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I don't know about him. You can. You're good with me.
He said, not you. I can borrow your car. All right. Our thanks to Mike Garrison. Thank you, Mike. All right. Well, if you have any extra tissues, you may want to share them. And Dylan, I hope you don't have another song that you wrote to your mom, because I can't take it. But please help me bring back to the stage Dylan Denton for another wonderful selection.
No, this one's for me. This is a song I wrote for for when I feel sad, and it is called For the Moments I Feel Down.
It takes time and some patience, but I'll find where I belong. Don't give up, just keep waiting. You're gonna find where you belong. And I can see the sun poke through the clouds on a distant dark horizon now. It takes time and some patience, but I'll find where I belong. Oh, it takes faith and endurance, but I know I'll make it through this. Don't give up, just keep pushing. You'll get used to the pressure cooking, and in the moments I feel down, I won't wallow on the ground. I'll stand tall, let my tears fall. I'm gonna find where I belong. I had a dream, I was king of impossible things, fully formed, no in between. It had come to a light which she's seen in me. So when the money is short and the days are long, I will pick my head up and sing this song. It takes time and I don't mind. I'll find where I belong. Oh, it takes time. 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 Oh, it takes time.
Yeah.
Dylan Dent, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Such talent.
Wow.
Amazing.
Wow. That was spectacular. All right. As I mentioned at the start of the show, next Wednesday, April 16th at Mill Mountain Theater, the VIA Centers for Neurodevelopment invite everybody to join them for a free screening of the award-winning documentary, In a Different Key. It's about people with autism and how various communities throughout the years have responded to people with autism. We've got a trailer for the movie right now, and I'd like for you to take a look.
I've always known Don. I don't remember not knowing Don.
We knew that Don was a little different,
but what it was, we didn't know.
He is the first person to be ever diagnosed with autism.
At the time, autism wasn't even a word. I had heard that the first person diagnosed with autism might still be alive and living in this small town in Mississippi.
Good to see you.
Hey, Shelby Welby. Hey, Nat the cat.
Well, hi, Don. Darling.
Hey, Chandler the plant.
Stop resisting. Get the cuffs. Hey, can I go, please?
I only knew that I was different and that different was bad. You're weird, you're a freak, you're a retard, you're a loser, you're ugly. These were the things that I heard on a daily basis.
Come on, go, go, go.
In my research study, every Black family that I've met with has asked a similar question. How do we keep our children safe? How do we fix this situation so that our children won't die?
Toasty? Yeah.
Like that.
Autism is a little different. Your brain works a lot differently than most people.
Hello. Hey, Karen. Hello.
Do you get any kind of support from anybody?
Not really. It's just me. Nobody's gonna do what I do.
So you just can't die?
Right. It's gotta be immortal.
Don's got some odd behaviors and some eccentricities, but he's our guy.
I was just so drawn to him and this community. I wanted to figure out, how did they get it right? Because they really did get it right.
Nice. All right. Please welcome to the stage VIA's Director of Advancement, Rebecca Ellison. Thank you so much for being here. What a cool movie.
Yeah, we're really excited to share it with the broader Roanoke community.
I don't know that I'd make it next Wednesday because I'm like holding back tears just watching the trailer.
Right. You know, it has every moment you want in a movie. Yeah. It makes you laugh, it makes you cry, it makes you want to take action. So I do hope you can make it, and I hope everyone can make it and join us.
Yeah, I mean, even the little clip with the police arresting him, you see the date on that. That was 2015. That's 10 years ago. It wasn't like in the 70s or 60s when people perhaps didn't have a full understanding of what autism was. That's now.
Yeah, there's certainly challenges that the folks we're serving, the families we're serving, are still facing today. And VIA's working. We're trying to build communities where there's a broader understanding of who we're serving and why we're serving them, so things like that don't keep happening.
Yeah. All right, well, I'm going to start with the left-hand turn here first, kind of what I was asking Mike about. You're the Director of Advancement for VIA. Your job is to basically make sure that VIA has the funding that it needs in order to operate and fulfill its mission. Given what's happening in our country right now, how challenging is your job?
Yeah, you know, I've been in nonprofits my entire career. We are constantly under-resourced. The need for services, particularly for autism services, continues to skyrocket. Right now, we have some funding under threat, potentially under threat. It's something that we as an organization have faced for several years. So 80% of our funding comes from CSA funding, which is distributed at a state level. We are often having to advocate at the state level to make sure that funding source remains, and this has been happening for years, like I said. It was part of the merger is that we could be heard as one collective voice and have more of an impact. So we're constantly working with our legislators to bring them into our schools, bring them through our adult programs so they can see the work that we do. We work with our local and city governments to make sure they're understanding what we're doing, and really show the value we have in the community and the value we bring to these families. So right now, I'm leaning into community, leaning into our donors and our grant funders and our philanthropic partners, and just really hoping that we can, they'll show up for us and we can continue to have an impact.
Yeah. Now, I know funding's not the only shortcoming you have right now. You also have some staffing challenges, just getting good people in the doors to work for VIA.
Absolutely. Like I mentioned, and I think Mike mentioned, that the wait list for our services is long. We, in our schools, we rely on a one-to-one service model, so one staff to one student. That's a level of support our folks need. That's a level of support that provides, that moves the needle for them, helps them build those skills. And that's something that we provide that the public school can't. So that's why we're here. But that means for every student we bring in, we've got to hire somebody. So we've been talking about April as Autism Acceptance and Awareness Month. At VIA, it's Autism Hiring Month. So if anyone is interested, we're looking for compassionate people. We provide all the training you need. You don't need any experience. You just need to be curious and interested in supporting a vulnerable population, but a population, as Mike said, that brings a lot of joy.
Well, I've learned so much just within the last 45 minutes here on Buzz Live. And one thing I will say, I'm so fortunate, we're so fortunate to live in a state that obviously from state to state doesn't receive the same sort of support within the autism community. And it's incredible to know that the Roanoke Valley has such an inclusive center like VIA, that after talking to you all about understanding that that's not really available for everyone across the Commonwealth. So I just want to just say thank you. Thank you for being here and for serving our community. And I think the message is loud and clear. As a community, we can support you all in what you're doing. And as a comrade in advancement.
Yes.
I really wanted to hug.
Right. I know what you're going
through. From what I understand, so far you haven't currently, within the last couple of months, have had any effects of recent funding, federal funding cuts.
Correct.
So that's great news.
It's amazing news. Yes.
That's great news. Yes. But the support of the community is still necessary. And if anyone is interested in applying for the position or for these positions, how do they go about doing so?
You can visit our website at viacenters.org/careers. That's also where you can learn more about the movie. If you go to viacenters.org/events, our website is the keeper of all information.
Right. Yeah, so what's the goal, again, for this event next week here in the Roanoke Valley?
Yeah, so we want the community to know that we're here as a resource. We, through Leslie's work at the school and all the staff that she leads, we're really helping our students and adults in the VIA fold build the skills they need to access the community. You'll see them out at the Taubman Museum. They're volunteering with Ronald McDonald House. They're active and engaged citizens in the Roanoke Valley. We want more people in the area to know that we're here as a resource. We can support you. If you need services, reach out. And we're that bridge to community for families. So we also, as I think Leslie mentioned, we provide job coaching. So if you're a business owner and you need employees, we might be able to help by providing one-on-one job coaching for, again, active, engaged employees.
Nice. Last question.
Sure.
Okay. Someone who comes up to you, doesn't have a child with, profound autism, or knows of anyone in that situation. I mean, I don't see how anybody who's watched Mike's story, could say this at this point. But someone who hasn't, why should they care?
Yeah, I think everyone in our community is so important, and I think that's something that VIA really works to emphasize, is that the folks we're serving provide value to our community. As I mentioned, they're employees at some of your favorite businesses in the community. They are volunteering. They're out in the community. They're going to churches. They're frequenting restaurants with their families. If all of these families who have children with profound autism can't access the community, that has a ripple effect on Roanoke. It has a ripple effect in Charlottesville, and that's why, as a bigger entity, we're able to have more of an impact statewide.
Well, ladies and gentlemen,
Thank you.
Rebecca Ellison, thank you so much. All right. Hey, stay up here for a second, Rebecca.
Come on, Rebecca. Stay
Hold
on
up.
up. Stay on up here with us. We're going to have you sing a song, too.
All right, close this out.
All right, we're not going to have you sing a song, but we do want to ask our other guests to come on up. Dylan, if you will, to be so kind to play out some...
Play us off. This is our Saturday Night Live moment right here. Everybody gets on stage.
Yeah. Look at Mike
All right.
on the job. Already ready for you. I got your mic ready for you. But our thanks to the Spot on Kirk. Our thanks to all of you who are watching at home. Thanks to producer Rob, who keeps us on air and makes sure you can hear us and see us. And of course, thanks to all of you for joining us here tonight. You can always enjoy and see Buzz for Good on Blue Ridge PBS on Wednesdays. Thank you guys so much for being with us tonight.
Thank y'all. Go for it. You got something? Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Really
Okay,
great,
good.
yeah.
Hey, man. Oh, bring it in. Bring it in. Yeah. Well, I know where you are.